What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bogey Proof. Special episode tonight. We got the full staff here on the call. We got some housekeeping items we got to get to. A lot going on in the world of golf, but a lot going on in our personal worlds of golf. So we got to get to that stuff first. But before we do that, gentlemen, where are we calling from and what are we sipping on? Joey, how about you?
Florida. Miller Lite.
That was like an NBC Sunday Night Football intro. Like,
I had two all play today, so I figured I might as well keep the train going. So, with that being said, Eric.
I am in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I made myself a Negroni tonight.
ooh,
Yeah, a little gin.
love that. Gotta mix it up.
It was almost 70 degrees today, so it felt like I needed a warm weather drink.
There you go.
Yeah, Michael.
Ann Arbor, Michigan, green tea. Matthew.
And that metabolism boosted, I see.
Is that what it says? It says
green tea does for you.
It's all about
can read that?
it's all about the it's all about the decaffeinated nature of the tea. Can't be not sleeping tonight. I got a big day of work, school, research, scholarly things out here. So, Matthew.
West Hartford, Connecticut, Woodford Reserve, double oaked.
Oh,
I think we might have to run with this NBC player intros every night. But anyways, without further ado, Joseph, it looked like you attended a little Champions Tour event last weekend, and we want to hear about it. How was it? Did you follow specific groups? What's your kind of attack approach? What's your play when you attend any level of professional tour events?
So myself and friend of the program, Mr. Jason Hattie, we probably showed up around 1:15, which is when the final group went out. So we followed them. We kind of walked all the way out until kind of like 6, 7, and 8. Kind of hung out, watched some groups come in, but so in that final group, actual fun fact, actually I haven't told you guys this yet. So Tim Petrovic on the tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of him? Kind of,
Yeah.
right?
Know the name, yeah.
He just tied second in that tournament. Well, I work with his brother at Naples Lakes now. He's like just kind of seasonal help for us.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Petrovic, his only win on tour, which was in New Orleans, I forget what year, but his brother was was caddying for him. So he has like the only win on tour. So it's kind of cool. So I really wanted to kind of follow him and watch him and everything like that, because it's just, a lot more relatable and not relatable, but you just feel like you
a little bit more. Yeah.
So we're rooting for him all day. And then we ended up, and then after that, we ended up wandering back because Jason, his dad's a member at Tibby. So we were lucky enough to get access into the member tent. And then from there, myself and Mr. Hattie just got a little banged up per se.
Of course.
We weren't really watching the golf as much. We were just, enjoying ourselves.
Enjoying the day.
Yeah, hanging out with his dad and some company, everything like that. But, as the afternoon kind of came to an end, so we were right behind 18 green in the tent. And right between the green and the tent was a driving range, or the tent was between the green and the driving range. So it was cool. We got to get a little good view, and we saw, I think it was like Y.E. Yang. He was hitting some balls afterwards. There's Jim Furyk. We watched him hit some balls afterwards, which was cool. So the crazy thing, like when we were watching Y.E. Yang, he was literally, he was doing everything like I tell students not to do, like, and everyone to do. Like, you just get on the range and you just pick a ball, hit. Like, wasn't backing off of it or anything like that. Like, he was just a machine. It was crazy. And like, yeah, he's hitting it good, but you couldn't tell like if he liked it or not or anything like that. And then it was actually really cool. So we were watching Jim and Furyk, and he was hitting irons, hitting some drivers, testing some different drivers, some different shafts, and you could see he was like kind of playing a hole in his head. And then there's this guy that Hattie just kind of goes, he's like, this guy over here, he participates in the world long drive competitions and everything like that. And Hattie's talked to him a little bit, and Hattie starts talking to him here and like just says hi, whatever, like that. And all of a sudden, though, the guy just like says something to Jim, like, how you hitting them, anything like that. And Furyk like just kind of goes up to him and they start having a conversation. Like Furyk, like you could tell they knew each other, obviously. And Jim Furyk is just like, he asked the guy, he's like, so like in your ball flight, like what are you looking for? Like what is it? Any like questions like that. And the guy was just like, I mean, with me, I'm looking for how long the ball stays up at its highest apex. And like just kind of hearing them talk about everything like that. And Jim was like, do you have some shafts for me? And he's like, yeah, we got to go grab them. And like he was showing them like where he likes the kick point for his driving compared to where his like Jim's is and everything like that. So it's kind of cool just to hear them bullshit about that. I wish I wasn't as banged up as I was at that time. But no, it was just kind of really cool to experience that. I regret not going to a lot more of those tournaments like in previous years while I was down here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I really just never thought of it, but you know, it's a fun experience. And I knew I want to kind of, you know, get drunk at it anyway. So it really,
I also like how you like slid in there that you're on like first name basis with Jim Furyk. Like, yeah, Jim was over there, you know, slapping some ball.
well, I'm not just going to keep saying Jim Furyk.
Hey, Mr. Furyk shot 58. He deserves a little respect on that.
Well, it was funny, like, cause when he was changing things, and like I did say to him, just like, what are you tweaking over there and stuff like that. He's like, nah, I'm just kind of testing some different things. So I mean, we're kind of best friends now. But yeah, no, it was a fun time. I was really hoping Sunday I got that because I've been working a lot and I was hoping I'd get the day off and I was gonna go back and try to watch, but and me and Jason were a little banged up on Sunday, and then we went back to his dad's house, which is fucking stupid, ridiculous, as I think you guys have seen. And yeah, so
pretty special.
It was a fun day though. It really was. I'm hoping to get out with Hattie soon and his dad and play soon. And it's funny, his dad's just always like asking questions about the swing and everything like that.
He loves it. I remember when we were down there, he watched us a few holes and he was like I said, asking so many questions. Just
dude, the biggest thing, like
you love to see.
The biggest thing, like he's been asking me, and it's been since like last year. Just like it's like that turn rather than that sway, and like I was kind of trying to show him like my move and everything. And it's funny, like watching him do it, and like he just kind of turns back the wrong way. Like he's able to get his hips good, but he like turns back
the shoulders.
Get that weight that way and everything. I'm like, you really want? I'd be happy to go give you a lesson somewhere. Like, I really like. I'd be happy to. But yeah, no. Overall, it was a good day. I'm glad I went. And
Joey, you know Tim Petrovic's a Western Mass guy, right?
I honestly don't even know where they grew up. No, they grew up Connecticut.
Well, he spent like a little time. He was born in like Northampton.
Yeah.
And then he went to University of Hartford.
Yes.
So exactly. He's local to the program here.
Yeah. So I mean, it is. So it's funny though. Like I've yet to go out. I want to go play with his brother, and he's like, "No, I'm not going out and playing until I can break 80." I'm like, "Look, I'm struggling to break 80 right now, my man. Like, let's just go." I'm like, "You don't even have to play. Just caddy me out there. Like, I just want to experience. Like, I just want to see what you're like out there." And it was funny, like because we were watching. I was working with his brother on Sunday, so we were more so watching that over Riviera. And like, you know, Tim, he had a couple bogeys, and his brother's just saying like, "No, here's what he did wrong here. Like, this is what we got to do," everything like that. So and it was kind of fun to watch the tournament with his brother afterwards and everything. Yeah. It was cool. We watched he eagled number 6. So we like watched his approach shot and he put it to like 15, 20 feet, made the eagle putt. It was awesome.
One last thing on the tournament, we can move off it, but being there on site, and I know you guys were just having a day, but like, is there anything that stands out when you're watching those guys like Champions Tour level? Like, did they have a little more pop than you expected, or is it really just the way they get around the golf course that's just like mistake-free?
I wish I could have watched it in a little bit more detail. And I mean, I don't have Hattie's height, so I can't like see everybody. True. There's like a lot of tee shots. I was literally just standing there and just like listening for the ball and just waiting to see it, like not really getting to see their swings. But yeah, I mean, it's just their swings. They're so effortless, like every time, you know, even if they have to feel like when they're really trying to attack it, it's just a nice, fluent and easy swing. But, you know, I mean, like I said, we didn't really watch that many holes. And once we kind of got to that tent, he was like, "Do you want to go back and walk around?" And we're like, I mean, kind of got it made right here. Why would we go do that? So, but yeah, it was a good time. I hope if whatever happens in my future winters, I'll be able to come down to a few more tournaments.
Yeah.
Good
No,
time.
it's never a bad time for us, golf junkies to like find a way to any level of like a
Yeah.
golf event, right? Like I
Yeah.
love watching like the local shit around here, like not even professional am, just like my
Yeah.
local courses, member guests and shit. Like just watching good golf being played like in person, there's nothing better to see the way guys plot themselves around a golf course or just like hit shots that you don't even see sometimes when you get out and see tour players play or whatever. It's always good to absorb that stuff and kind of get a different little perspective and out of your own swing and out of your own golf game every
I
once
mean,
in a
if
while.
I could, right? If I had like a full day off, I'd get there, not ass crack of dawn, but I get there early and watch them on the range a little bit. Go find a hole just to sit on the bleachers, just
Yep.
hang out and watch some groups come in, and then come around that same time that I did, just kind of do the same routine. It's like, all right, let's kind of get let's
Yeah.
walk around, crack a couple open, just enjoy yourself, have a cigar, and have
That's
a
what it's
day.
all about right there. That's what it's all about.
So
Next on our list of housekeeping items here, it's been a little while since you and Eric have been on the pod. We need an update on your guys' 2022 goals as we're coming up on the end of February, getting into March here. We don't have to cite the specific goals, but let's just talk about the process and the progress of 2022.
All right, I'll kick it off.
take it away.
So biggest one, golf related, was focus on how to hit a wedge, but mainly how to compress the golf ball. So obviously it's February, so haven't made too much actual golf progress on that goal. Just weather pending, but we made one step in the right direction so far. Actually got fitted for new wedges. Got new wedges. Got new wedges last week with a little more bounce on them.
Fact, I like the bounce.
Yeah, so a little more
Big bounce
comfortable.
guy.
A little more comfortable with them in my hand than the other guys. So I guess that's a step in the right direction. And then as we get some longer days.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What brand did you go with?
I got the new Cleveland RTX wedges. They are
Zipcore?
they're beautiful.
Is it the Zipcore?
Yeah, the Zipcore.
What finish should we get?
The satin, like
Yeah.
satin chrome or whatever. It's kind of like a matte silver.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that.
All three of them?
So I only got two new wedges. I kept my Vokey lob wedge because that has a lot of bounce on it already and didn't really need to replace that one yet. So new gap wedge, a new sand wedge. So the gap wedge is 50 degrees, 10 degrees of bounce, and the sand wedge is 54 degrees, 10 degrees of bounce.
Nice.
So yeah, I guess that's a step in the right direction there. I've played golf with them now twice, and I mean, it's hard to fully see a difference in 2 rounds of golf with a gap wedge and a sand wedge, but I say visually and just comfortability, they look better.
Is
So.
that like adding the balance and things of that nature? Like, were you going into this with the approach of like, hey, I want to hit better full wedges, from like that 90 to 120 range, or is it like around the greens you want to have a little bit more comfort and playability?
Yeah, so when I'm 80 yards in, 95% of the time I have my lob wedge in my hand, and I'm really comfortable with a lot of bounce. And then, yeah, that like 85 to 120, 25 range is where I was a little uncomfortable, and the thought with more bounce is just kind of so I can go after it a little bit more aggressively and not worry about getting that leading edge dug in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was mainly the thought there. But since I got these new wedges, and again, I'm comfortable with them having more bounce on it, I've been messing around a little bit, hitting like some 30-yard pitch shots with the 54.
Yep.
So yeah,
I think
like it.
It'll help to sand game, and as far as being able to bring a 50 and a 54 with a little more bounce to hit those like 20-30 yard bunker shots, or
yeah, exactly.
kind of those like kind of chunk and release ones, or even I think and I'm very much like you in the sense that I hit a lot of lob wedges around the greens.
Yeah.
Sometimes people that are comfortable with their lob wedge get really Like it could be an uphill lie and you still pull the 60, where like sometimes you don't need that extra loft. So the 54 might be plenty of loft if there's already, 10 degrees on the side of the hill. So stuff like that. So I think it's awesome. I think finding a bounce that's relatively similar all the way around and a mid-level of bounce, it's easier to work it in, because the 54 kind of feels like the 50 and the 60 all in the same. So you don't even have to practice quite as much. Still practice a lot, but you don't have to practice quite as much.
Yeah, it's hard to practice right now with the 90 to 120 yard shots with them, just because I don't like hitting like full wedges off of a mat.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm gonna shank it every time. So
Not a great thought, but yeah, that's I'd avoid that thought if that's what comes up.
yeah, I don't know what it is about. I think it's just the way the mats are set up at Spring Creek where I practice. They're like, it just doesn't feel like you should be hitting a golf ball from where the mats are.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, but that's where I'm at with that.
It's easy to get steep on mats and just like not hit them solid, or like just dig in on them and you don't even notice.
Yeah, you just bounce right off and right into them.
Yeah. So that's the update on the golf, one of the main golf goals. One of the other ones isn't going to really come to fruition until August with the mid-am stuff. And then I guess cooking in the kitchen. Kind of wanted to be a little more creative this year and less of a copycat, I called it, in the kitchen. And I haven't done a ton of cooking, but I've been focusing on the pizza game lately. So I guess it was like late fall, I had gotten a pizza stone and a pizza peel, which is the tool that you use to put pizza in and take it out of the oven. And I watch an endless amount of YouTube videos. So recently I've been watching a lot of like pizza dough videos and like how to prep pizza dough. The best way to cook pizza dough at home, because obviously your at-home oven isn't getting to 800 degrees like a pizza oven is. So combinations of like throwing it under the broiler for 2 minutes, back to bake, back to broiling. I've been messing around with, and then also messing around with proofing the dough longer. So long story short, if you really wanted to, the dough could rise in 2 hours. But if you put it in the fridge and let it rise for 5 days, the flavor is completely different of the crust.
Man. Shout out YouTube. YouTube is just like the world's teacher these days. Like also, anytime I have a question or anything, like Google, and then if it's anything I want to see what I'm doing, like like I need to see it to learn it kind of thing.
It also YouTube's helps that I every single day work with world-class chefs. So a lot of times when I have a question about stuff like that too, I just ask them. So I've been experimenting with the pizza game for Valentine's Day. Ashley got me one of those like giant like blade rocker pizza cutters.
Yeah. That's cool.
I haven't committed to buying an uni, but I think it's probably coming sometime in 2022.
Hell yeah. We love that.
So Eric, quick question for beginning pizza maker. Are you cooking the dough at all before you put the toppings on? Because I've always struggled a little bit. Like it comes out okay, but if you're someone like me who prefers a little crispier crust than on the doughier side, like if I cook it for a little bit, like I know like it might not, maybe that's not the best way to do it, but I know it's going to be cooked through and it's going to be a little crispier, which is like would be my preference. So what are the big players in the game doing for the at-home pizza?
So this is where the combination of broiling and baking comes into play. So what I've been doing recently and have had the most success with getting that like crisp on the outside, but still like nice and light and airy on the inside, starting it out under the broiler by itself for like 2-3 minutes, taking it out, getting your toppings on it, putting it back in on bake for probably like 2-3 minutes, and then finishing it under the broiler again for probably like 3 minutes. So
and you're going a thinner crust usually?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and like most recently when I made it, I put my I put the rack in my oven all the way up. So the pizza was like right under the
there.
broiler.
Yeah.
And that's been the most successful so far.
Pro tips. These are the things we need here.
It's pizza from what I mean. So this was like the greatest quote I've ever heard in a YouTube video. And it was, so people say baking is a science and cooking is an art, but pizza is both.
Ooh, I like that. Hell yeah. I want to make a pizza now.
But yeah,
no cheese, Fontaine.
Yeah, I know. Fuck.
to make it easy on myself too, though, I found this great kit that Wegmans sells. It's essentially a pre-portioned flour, yeast, salt for pizza dough, and you just add your water and you still make the dough yourself, but it's pre-portioned everything to each other, which makes it a lot easier. Because if you look up a pizza dough recipe, they're all in like grams to the exact gram, like 328 grams of flour.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm more of a field cooker anyways. So and Fontaine's like that too. We talked about the risotto and it's just like a little stock here, a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Little butter here, a little extra heat, turn it off.
The dough is the only part that's scientific because you need the right ratio of stuff for it to rise and all that good stuff. Yeah, pizza's fun.
Hell yeah. We love that. A lot of progress going on in there without being able to do a lot of golf. New wedges is a good start. Comfort. We're hearing that's a good word with wedges in your hand. Comfort.
Yeah.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How's your progress for 2022? Where are we at?
We're getting there.
No, that's a good start, I guess.
No, I mean, you can only get so consistent when you barely play. So, what's my face? I'm trying to think. Last time we've talked, have I really played? I had to play with the pro, but I only played for 14 holes. Because a twosome backed out after 11 holes, and the last single lady, she backed out after 14. So it was an okay playing. I just couple bad bogeys and bad couple duff chip shots that really just kind of just happens. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's not like I played bad. Just had a couple bad holes. It is what it is. But I mean, overall, swing feels good, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good about the game going.
Those are all good. Those are all good signs. Now
that's the most important thing. I mean, tonight, like after work, we got 9, and I hit some good drives, and it's finally nice to finally be hitting a driver like solid again.
Hell yeah.
Some of them went far, and like that hasn't happened to me in a while. So
Love
it's kind of cool to do that. But the one thing right now, some putts, they're good putts. They're just not falling yet.
That happens for sure.
It happens.
Now
so it's coming. I'm hoping I'm swinging well when Mikey's down and playing Naples Lakes. But we'll see what happens. But I'm progress is being made toward.
That's what we like to hear. That's what it's all about. Progress, not perfection. Now, as you go forward in 2022, is your focus on like strictly physical, just more reps, or like are you trying to have better thoughts out there, think your way around the course better, manage your game better? Or is it strictly like, if I'm going to be more consistent, I need to just put in a little more time?
I mean, I think it's definitely trying to practice a lot more. Like, with me, a lot of the time I just go out and play after work if I can, but it's like, no, instead, let's just hit some chip shots and roll some putts and, kind of just work on some other things. But, yeah, I mean, I like to think my way around a golf course pretty smartly for the most part, especially around this course here, because I know it and I'm very excited to see how Michael plays it. Honestly,
I haven't played golf in like 4 months. What are you expecting from me for the first day?
It's like riding a bike.
It's Bermuda. I'm gonna freaking get so steep out there. It's gonna be unreal.
I'm telling you, there's no rough here, so you don't have to worry about Bermuda rough or anything like.
I'm not worried about the rough. It's more like the chip shots.
Chips.
Yeah. The chip shots, yeah.
And I mean, I'm just gonna have to figure out like the front 9. I know I'm gonna hit some like steep checkers because that's just what I'm gonna be comfortable with.
I can't wait for you to see these greens because they are very
I can read putt. One thing I know I can do is I can read greens. I'm
No,
not
it's
saying
not
I'm
that
gonna.
you can't read them because like it's you can tell what they're gonna do, but they're very. I don't know. I can very rarely like drain putts out here because like it's just like I don't know. Do I hit it firm, hit it soft? And like with me, it's like whatever I do, I should have done the opposite. Honestly,
Been there. I feel you with that on the greens.
I
Like
read too much into it, and it's just like, okay, fine. Next putt. You don't read too much into it, then it's just like, you kidding me? It just, but yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what you think of this golf course.
I'll be rolling in putts. Don't you worry.
I
I'll
hope
be
you
rolling.
are.
I'll be rolling.
marrying up
The good
the
thing
line
is-
you see
good
with the
thing is
speed you
we're
hit
the
putts
first
at is
ones
hard.
out.
Yeah.
So they'll be, freshly mowed or rolled, whatever they do that day, and they won't have a lot of traffic that day, which is nice. But the back nine we will because it is crossover tee times, but front nine will be pure. What were you saying, Fontaine? I'm sorry.
It's like marrying up the line and speed, especially when you get on quicker greens where like
They're not quick.
yeah. Well, I mean, or sorry, like undulating greens where like you're outside of the hole a lot of times. So like, like trying to line that up with like,
Yeah.
all right, am I dying this in? And is it like an extra ball and a half a break here? Or am I hitting it a foot and a half, 2 feet past? And it's less like I suck at that. Hence why putting is such an issue for me. Like I can see the lines fine, but I see them in one speed and I hit it in another, and that just doesn't work. That's not how you putt.
No. Yeah, so I mean, like they did in 2017. I want to say it was like the year before I got here or the year I came down. Like, no, 2017 was graduated college, so a few years, 2 years. They did a golf course restoration, and the greens were like the biggest thing, and it's like the biggest complaint about the golf course ever restored.
People don't like change.
Well, I mean, it makes it tough. Like we'll say, like the greens are the defense of the golf course. I mean, yeah, there's water out there, but if you can keep it between the water, I mean, the fairways are wide. I mean, there's, it's a little. I don't want to say it's tougher from the way back, but just like some tee shots are a little bit more shapy, if you will.
Ooh.
No, it depends.
Shapy's fun. I like shapy.
No, exactly. Like,
is it shapy like
out there?
Is it shapy like I could peel the cut all day?
It grows on me each year I come back here. But what's that?
I was just saying, is it shapy like I can peel a hard cut all day long? Or do I have to turn it over?
I'm trying to think of Nah, you're fine with a cut here. You want a cut here. You're good.
Yeah.
Number 3, the thing is you over peel it, you're in red. And I'll tell you, basically everything surrounding us is red steak, essentially.
Oh boy.
You almost always get relief.
Might have to buy some logo balls from the shop.
No, but number 3, I'm just thinking like par 5. You peel it up. Same with 6. Number 3 is a par 5. You could get there in 2. Number 6 is going to be, you can, but it's a big second shot. 11, you can get there, and 18, depending what the wind is doing, you can get there. It's 18's it's a fun par 5, but it's different from the way back. Like
sounds like I'm hearing a lot of offensive opportunities here.
Par 5s wise, yes, but like 18, when I play all the way back, I usually just play it as a 3-shot hole because like where you kind of need to put it with the driver, you're flirting with a huge ass fairway bunker, you're flirting with water. It's just such a tight spot. So I'll just hit a 3-wood up the left-hand side and just hit an iron in. But sometimes you also just say, got to let the big dog eat. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm trying to if I got course record on watch or something, I need to make an easy 5, then you do it.
Yeah, I mean, we got 16. It's a drivable par 4, but it's flirting with water. It's like just kind of a peninsula going out to the left.
Hell yeah.
Even if you're playing well, obviously play the hole as you want, but it's always fun. Like afterwards, all right, let's hit one. Let's see if you can hit it.
Yeah,
we'll do that. But no, I'm excited for you to play. I wish all 4 of us were playing it, but it's all right.
It's all good.
Yeah, so
we'll find our way down eventually.
My goals are progressing.
Hey, well, that's all that matters. Progress. With that being said, though, we do have to touch a little bit on the PGA Tour as the California swing wraps up at Riviera last week, Joaquin Neiman goes out and just wire to wire, like boat races everybody the first 2 days and then seemingly hangs on for dear life on the weekend. But I mean, at a course like Riviera, like credit to him for hanging on for dear life because there's a lot of overpar rounds out there and he kept it even or better on the weekend when he definitely didn't have whatever he had the first 2 days. Golf's like a lot of law of averages, right? Like he's not going to go out there and shoot 62 every day. So had to come around eventually and he was able to hang on and
Happy
get
for
a
him.
dub, which was impressive. I mean, he had like when you have Colin Morikawa kind of come in, like he's kind of like a dude right now that you don't want to see. Like Victor Hovland up there too, like held off some like gritty dudes like that you just don't want to be chasing you or see in your rear view as you're trying to go out and win probably the biggest event of his career. I'd say because he's won. I think this is his third win, maybe
second. He won
second.
Greenbrier.
Okay, yeah. So this is obviously a little bit bigger than the Greenbrier. So like, and top 10 in the world in the field, like everything like that we talked about in last week's episode. But yeah, overall I mean, I was impressed by him. It's impressive to go wire to wire. I think he's like the third youngest besides Rory and Jordan Spieth. They both did it at majors, which is even crazier, but third youngest to go wire to wire on tour in tour history, which is, it's always impressive when you're setting records. Do you guys get a chance to watch a lot of Riv or any major takeaways?
I clicked it on back and forth. I'll always say that golf course is beautiful and I hope to play it one day, but
I think the golf course needs to be restored.
really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Yeah.
It's not played like it should be anymore. Like 10, I don't think 10's a good hole.
No, they all just hit like to that short left now. Like it's
like there's no good layup.
Yeah, it's so elevated.
Even when you're going, even like when you quote unquote are going for it, you're trying to hit it in like a 5-yard box short of the green.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then like the hole that Hovland was hitting it up the other fairway.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
Like 15. Like the guys they're just hitting it too long to play that hole properly now. Like, it doesn't make any sense for them to try like. No, not that it doesn't make any sense, but I understand where Hovland was coming from. He wasn't trying to hit it up the other fairway to gain an advantage. He just thought that was like an easier play.
Yeah.
Because of the way that fairway is cut. I just think it needs to be restored and lengthened a little bit or something. Fairways, or even if maybe it's even just like the cut lines of the fairways are changed a little bit for next year to kind of just change the shape of some of those dog legs.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I love Riviera. I think it's a great golf course. I'm pumped in a few years to see the women play there in the US Open.
That'll be sweet.
So I think it's gonna be a fantastic golf course for that.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know. And Tiger kind of touched on it in his interview in the third round is I just think that they're hitting it a little too long to play that golf course how it's designed.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Also, shout out the cat. Looked fucking incredible this year compared to last year's disaster. Like no laying up. That had a tweet where he captured like the cat last year, this year, putting the pictures next to each other, and like, my God, did he look like shit last year at this event? Like, obviously, we all know what happened after this event last year, but it's just nice to see him looking healthy, like walking around. Like obviously, the return to golf is probably still a little ways away, but. Look, like a lot of our 2022 goals, we saw some progress out of the cat this week.
Yeah.
But I agree with your back to like Riv though. Like I think 10, like they made it so hard to hit that green when you're going for it. It's not even really considered drivable anymore because nobody, like if you landed anywhere near that green surface, it bounds over the green and you're fucked. So like everybody hits that short left.
No one's trying to drive it. They're trying to hit it 5 yards short of the green and hopefully get a lucky trundle.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think I don't know how they make that an actual risk reward again versus just a really quirky little par 4 because like it's no matter what the number on the card says, it's just not like drivable really. Like so it's like I agree with you that needs a little bit of changing. They made it too difficult. I think in the last few years they've done a lot to like I think they like elevated it like elevation like they pulled it up a little bit and just made it way firmer and more narrow. It feels like. Where it's like you can't like even with a wedge you can't hold the green sometimes like it's like insane. So They got a little carried away with 10, I think.
I think it's been all over like golf Twitter and stuff like that. But CBS is killing it.
Way better this year. Way better.
Colt Knost is the MVP of sports media.
Hell yeah. He is.
He's
so good. Knows like I think he's like the perfect, like he's just more relatable. He's like younger, obviously, than a lot of other guys that come on. Yeah. Like he just knows like what he has like a finger on the pulse, right? Like he knows like how to navigate like certain situations, holes. He knows where to give more insight, where to let the moment breathe. Like we can go off about how like bad other people are, but like it's like he just like he's got his finger on the pulse and just knows how to provide context without like spoon feeding it to us and being like, this is golf, you should like this. He just tells you what's going on and lets you enjoy it yourself.
I had most of the final round on yesterday, and I watched Justin Thomas's group play the 10th hole, and the way Colt Knost talked about that wedge that Justin Thomas had to hit into that green was just fantastic. I mean, he's like, he pretty much has to land this thing on a sprinkler head. But then when he talked about how the Grove where he practices at has a replica of that green. Yeah. And just like little stuff like that. He's pretty awesome.
He's very good. Very good at what he does.
Yeah.
Anything else on Riv, boys, before we talk Florida swing, specifically our Florida swing? We'll get to the PGA Tours at another episode, but
yeah, I think it's a really cool golf course on TV. I appreciate the firmness out there. We talk kind of about some of the changes that need to be made. I think this week shows us, hey, it's a lot more fun when the golf course is firm. I mean, obviously they tore it up, but it just makes for more interesting watching and more interesting conversation from a commentary standpoint. Hey, I got to land it this place. It's going to run out. It's going to catch the slope. I enjoy watching the ball on the ground and seeing kind of how it reacts. And as far as like golf courses, or as far as golf, the holes out there that I do enjoy, I like I think it's the 6th hole out there that it's like a 410-yard hole, and it's kind of like a plateau, and you only can hit it about 280, and then 5. Is it 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but then 6 is the par 3.
Yeah.
5, right? And then it kind of plateaus, and then it goes down. So, I mean, back in the day, people were like, maybe bunting a driver to the edge. Now they're like just ripping a 2-iron and chasing it down there. Mm-hmm. But we saw like on even a shortest hole, right? So you hit it out there to the right side in the rough. You really struggled to hold the green. Left side was really the best you could do. If you hit it too far, you're playing out a thick rough on a downslope, and really in that last group, Cam Young, he hit a good tee shot and then had a wedge in there and was rewarded with a really good look at birdie, right? So I think those are the type of holes that we need more of in golf, because then, and those can happen because you don't need land for a 500-yard par 4. But if you can manipulate how we think about the tee shot and how it needs to be played, I like there being opportunity to play different types of shots, but in some capacity, you need to take the driver 350 yards off the table.
Yep.
Right. And, you need to say a 285-yard shot is what you need to hit here, depending on your skill level and the type of shots and whatever you do, get it to this place. I just think, it doesn't need to be every hole, but there needs to be some more of that. I can't really put my finger on it, but I just think we need a couple more holes like that. And, they're not easy scoring holes. I think, there's not a lot of birdies on those type of golf holes. There's more birdies on, 470-yard dead straight par 4s out there than there are.
I was going to say, I think of a hole, like obviously this is like the pinnacle, but like 3 at Augusta, right? Like it's like 340 yards, 350 yards, but like almost everybody, I mean, every once in a while Bryson, or if they put the tees way up, somebody will give it a crack with the driver, but like 95% of the field hits a whatever 3-wood, like 3-iron, even whatever, to that 100-yard range, whatever. And that's still like, yeah, you see some birdies out there because they're hitting wedges, but like you see a lot of 5s and 6s too. Like it just like puts such a premium on, you cannot hit this in the rough, otherwise you have like no shot. And 2, like you have to hit your number with that wedge, like similar to what Colt Knost is laying out with JT's on 10 at Riv. Like you're trying to hit this wedge like on a sprinkler head, or you're on the wrong tier, and then you're putting like down a like ski slope, and like you could have to grab a wedge again. Like obviously that's Augusta, and like Augusta's always the pinnacle, but like that hole stands out to me of like you said, you don't need a 500-yard par four to make par a good score. You just need to like defend it with the contours and like the like what you make them do off the tee, because like that's yeah. And obviously, you know, if everybody could do that, they would. It's obviously there's a lot more that goes into it with the land and whatever else that goes on and budgets and whatnot at golf courses. But like that's the defensive golf courses, is like building it in a way that like, hey, if you hit driver, you really don't have anywhere good to hit it. You're not gonna be able to hold the screen, whatever. Like, you know, do something better, like lay up and have to hit fairways, hit wedges to like land it on a dinner table kind of wedge.
I also think we need to do a little better. I think architecture has come to a place where often, right, you hit something and then it goes down to the bottom of the slope and it's a flat lie. I would like to see more people playing from uneven lies, even if it's from 100 yards. I think it manipulates, right, the way at which you attack the ball. You know, the lie dictates what shape that's going to come out, whether it's high, low, left to right, right to left. And you really can get creative with pins, right? Like why not have a tee shot that's, you know, the best landing area is going to be a right to left slope in the fairway. Now go put that pin in the back left, and that's you're going to produce birdies. Next day you put it on the front right, it's almost impossible to get to, right? So like I think those types of varieties and just making it a little more uncomfortable for the best players in the world, you know, and right, there's a double-edged sword with that. Then the golf course becomes more difficult for the amateur level player, which is not the goal of 99% of golf courses. So it's tough. I mean, I think it's something that the golf course needs to make a determination. You know, what's its function? Just because we have a tour event once a year, you know, are we willing to kind of invest to make it more difficult or more uncomfortable? You know, I think different places are going to have different answers.
Very fair point too. There's a lot of things at play here, but without further ado, PGA Tour goes to Florida. We go to Florida next week. Like I said, we'll talk about PGA Tour, Florida swing of Honda, Bay Hill, etc., Valspar as we kind of get there on the calendar. But I think it's worth giving it, you know, let's talk through our Florida trip. I know you guys have a little different schedule than I do on our ways down there and kind of what our plans for next week are, but we end up linking up on Wednesday and playing 4 or 5 days in a row, whatever it is. But do you guys want to give some insight as to like the way your weeks begin? Because I'm working Monday, Tuesday, and I'll see you guys Wednesday morning, but I know you guys are heading down a little sooner.
Mike, you get there first, so you kick it off.
Yeah. We'll go day by day. We'll chat. Right. We'll chat day by day. Working here in Ann Arbor Saturday. Well, Saturday we got 90 chemistry PhD students coming to Ann Arbor, so I got to do a little work on Saturday to, you know, answer some random questions and you know, get them to come and do their PhD at Michigan. But then Sunday morning, DTW, Detroit Metropolitan Airport, straight to TPA Tampa there. So, you know, getting in around 9:50 or so, picking up a rental car. Gonna spend a little time in the Tampa area. I got some family down there, so my uncle and aunt just built a beautiful new home, so gonna, you know, kind of hang out at the house by the pool. My cousin's gonna come over with her husband and their daughter. He lives in a golf community, so, you know, I'm gonna get a little work in on the range, you know, on Sunday. And then Sunday afternoon, I get back in the car and I drive a couple hours, or maybe like 2.5 hours south to the Naples region to see our good friend Joseph. And, you know, and then kickstart on Monday morning at Naples Lake for a nice day of golf. But Eric, when do you get down there? And then I can kind of finish up on Tuesday as well, because you're coming down Monday.
Yeah, so I'm flying out of RIC, Richmond, Virginia. Yeah. On Monday afternoon. My flight's a 4:45, I believe, direct into Orlando, MCO. So I get in like late evening on on Monday sometime. Not nothing on the plans for Monday. Just hanging out with some of my girlfriend's friends who live in Orlando on Monday night and staying with them. And then Tuesday, I think the latest plan. There was a small chance there for a little while I was going to get out to Isleworth and play some golf, but there's just too much going on with Arnold Palmer happening that week. So Tuesday, thinking of going over to Orange County National, which is just down the street from where my girlfriend's friends live, and they've got a pretty huge practice facility. That's where they host the PGA Show demo day. So I think I'm just gonna practice a little bit there on Tuesday, get used to the Florida weather, and go from there.
Damn, I'm jealous. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna have to adjust handicaps after this. You guys are gonna be getting there working Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. I'm sneaking back once after spending the day with Joseph, getting back up to Tampa, and then my dad's coming down too, I guess, to visit my uncle and aunt. So we're gonna play Tuesday. At the I think we'll probably just play the course right that they live on. It's called Fox Hollow. I believe it's a Robert Trent Jones course. So pretty good design. Has some length to it. So probably will be we'll see what they play for tees, but there was a far back tee. So we might, it's always kind of fun to play a little different match, like with my dad, or with my dad and my uncle, where I'm playing a considerably different tee, and then we can kind of like get the handicaps a little bit closer, which is nice. So then I'm not giving like nine shots or something like that, 6, like 3 and 3, but having me play a 220-yard par 3 and they're playing 165, I think adds a different dynamic too. But with that being said, given 9 shots and me having 9-iron in my hand and them having 6-iron, like that's a dynamic in itself. So we'll see, but we'll have some fun. Depends on what my game looks like at Naples Lakes, I think, to what I stretch it on Tuesday with them.
Love that. And then as you guys fine tune your games, I'll be hopping on a plane at I think 6:30 in the morning Wednesday morning, flying out of Bradley BDL right down to Orlando, kind of get in around, it's probably like 10-ish, give or take. Hopping on there. I know you guys are going to be coming back with a rental car to drop one off, and then we'll be hopping in a rental van with the 8 of us going down, and then heading directly to the golf course. I think we're starting it off with Waldorf this year, which honestly, last year we got the worst weather that day. Not even rain, just like 30-mile-an-hour winds that were like absolutely absurd. But like the golf course itself was like pure, like really good holes out there that like kind of got a little soured because of the wind, but you could just see being out there, like it's a course that if you get it on relatively normal conditions and not like that much wind, would be a lot of fun to play. So looking forward to heading back there on day one, and then I think from there it's like Orange County, back to Bella Colina on Friday. Saturday is Champions Gate, which is I think where we're technically staying, and then we ended at a Celebration on Sunday morning, which then is like the closest one to the airport or whatever it may be. But overall, like we got 8 guys going down. Producer Paul will be down there with us, representing the young 4, and then my dad and his buddies make up the other 4. So looking forward to getting down there. We do like a week-long thing, inter matches every day, like just action all over the place, and a really good stretch of courses. But what are you guys looking forward to most getting down there?
Mike, I'll let you go first because I was there last year.
Yeah. So outside of golf, I'm excited for a little downtime. It has been a busy stretch, being back at school, and just excited to kind of get away. I feel like most of my weekends, if I have an open weekend, I'm going back to Chicago to visit Elizabeth or see some friends or do something like that. So I'm just excited to spend a week away from school. And I mean, I'll do like a little bit of schoolwork, but really kind of just relax, drink a beer by the pool, focus on my golf game. I mean, I love golf, and I'm getting to play like 7 rounds in 7 days. So it's tough not to enjoy myself in that stretch. Looking forward to the opportunity to play good golf. I don't know if it's going to come, but I'm sure there's going to be a point out there over the course of 5 days of playing that where you play 9 holes and you're like, okay, well, this is why I love golf and this is why I play. I don't know what that's going to be. Hopefully it's 3-4 birdies in a row and make a little money that day. But if not, I'm going to realize that I'm on vacation. I'm going to enjoy myself. Gary Fontaine's going to be cooking me breakfast in the morning. I'm going to, this Pete Sherman's going to be driving me in the van. All I got to do is show up. So there's not much going on in my brain. Turn off the brain a little bit.
I was going to say, Mike, we're just living the life of Matt Fontaine this week. We just show up.
Yeah.
No planning involved. You just show up. Where do I got to be? When do I got to be there? All right, I'll drive. I'll see you there.
I just paid my bill. That's all I got to do.
Yeah.
I will say if we have thrown in a little bit of planning with hopefully sneaking over to Winter Park 9 on maybe it looks like Thursday afternoon for a little cocktail afternoon round.
Yep.
And I would add in there if I think like last year we I know we like stopped a couple of days and grabbed a quick lunch on the way home and stuff like that. There's this awesome little lunch spot that I got introduced to from Ashley called Yellow Dog Eats. Mm-hmm. And it is the most unique, cool, like barbecue shack.
Hell yeah.
In the world. There's just like chickens running all over the parking lot. I had a pulled pork sandwich with like smoked pineapple on it, and it was insane.
Ooh.
So we might have to keep that in. I don't know where it is on the map in relation to Orlando and golf courses and stuff like that. So it might not make sense, but that's in the back of the mind.
Yeah, love that. It's always, we're like lucky enough that like we are kind of the beneficiaries to my dad, like ironing out this trip over the last 30 years, going down with his buddies where they got all the courses like dialed in. They know like at least like while also being convenient, right? Like we're not trying to cover all of Florida in one weekend, like they have it down to a science where everything's like less than an hour drive. Like it's just very, like you said, like wake up in the morning, eat the egg sandwich that's waiting for you on the counter, get in the van, and then go hit some golf balls, play golf, get back, hop in the pool. Like it's the perfect blend of like, hey, we're going to be playing some awesome golf courses and it's a lot of fun, but also like that's 4 hours of the day. And the rest of it's like usually spent by the pool, like having cocktails, watching golf on TV. Cause we do line up with Bay Hill weekend, which is always good to watch and things of that nature. So it's a perfect, like kind of threads the needle from like, hey, like we're golfing a shit ton and kind of like, not that you're grinding, but like, taking the golf seriously, but also it's like, hey, there's, another 12 hours in each day that we're going to be kind of out and about. And like, whether we're mixing in like a Winter Park 9 and having like a cocktail hour there, or we're like back at the house, like, tearing up the pool, cocktails, playing some cards, whatever it may be. It's just one of my favorite weeks of the year. And it comes at a perfect time too. Like Mike said, he's grinding in grad school. It's also out in Michigan where the weather's pretty shitty right now. Like New England, Virginia, like not much better, right? Like just cold, and like the golf itch is like as strong as it ever gets is for me is like this time of year where it's like, you just can't get to it anyway. And it's like, I'm sick of hitting off mats at Chris Cody's. Like I want to like hit off grass and like make a divot and like, like hit some putts, like, just get back to the golf game. And this is like the best time of year and the perfect trip to do so. So I'm looking forward to getting down there with everybody and just, catching up and all the non-golf stuff that comes with that as well. That makes those trips as special as they are.
All right. We're going to do a little weather forecast here.
Oh yeah. We're coming up on the 10-day actually getting there, huh?
Oh yeah. We're at the 7-day. 7-day mark for me.
Yeah.
So Wednesday is our first round of golf, right?
Yep.
73 and sunny.
Okay. Can work with that.
Thursday, 75 and sunny.
Yep.
Friday, 77 and sunny.
Okay. Heating up.
Saturday, 80 and partly sunny.
Okay.
And then I got to click the next one to get Sunday.
I mean, it looks like they're getting a little heat wave right now, and then it cools down Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, Sunday, and then Sunday 82. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Orlando for 2 days, this Thursday, Friday, and it's gonna be like 90 both days.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be just like golf. I'm just excited. I'm just excited to play real fucking golf
Yeah.
and stop hitting off mats into like the simulator leagues and shit. Like it scratches a little bit of an itch, but not really. You know, if anything, it makes me like need to play more golf. Like
75 and sunny for Joseph and I.
Right.
54 is the low overnight though, so probably be about 55 when we start before the sun.
throw a little Q-zip on
Really
top.
refreshing.
Chilly
Hopefully it's not
mornings.
foggy. That's all.
Throw a little Q-zip on, you'll be good to go.
For
It'll
sure.
be good.
I might wear the pants, pro longs. Why not?
There you go.
Joey's got to be out there in the pants. Might as well join.
I'm
him.
always wearing pants, my man.
Players only. I'm not even packing pants. Fuck that.
What, Joseph, what's wrong with the PGA? And I think I probably brought this up. So the Illinois Open is run by the PGA, which is different. Usually, state golf associations run most of that kind of stuff, but it's run by the Illinois PGA section. They made every goddamn person wear pants in the tournament. The qualifier, when I made it through, it was like 95 degrees out, and I had to wear pants.
Really?
I sweat my butt off in like 70-degree weather, let alone 95.
Pros can wear
my
shorts
life.
pros can wear shorts in PGA Championship practice rounds.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's an actual round, I don't know. I just feel like they've stripped me from my initial rights as a citizen by charging me $300 and then making me wear pants.
Yeah, that's tough. I wish I had an answer for you, but that's a bunch of bullshit if you ask me.
Pants
So
are always tough.
My life, so I mean, I don't feel that bad for you.
You might be going to the wrong guy for sympathy on this one.
You're talking to a guy who's literally played golf with like over 100-degree weather in pants, but that's just me.
ugh.
That was also my choice, so I will take that. But anyway, well, anything else, Jeff?
Sounds like that was on you then. Like what?
No, what? Well, hey, my boy Keith, he was like, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, "Heck yeah!" He was like, "All right, I'm out of work," so I went over to Mohawk and we played some golf.
All right.
Golf course was wide open. It was fucking 100 degrees out. No one was playing.
Well, gentlemen, I look forward to our own Florida swing. We will have plenty of content on the Instagram with, I think we're playing together. Me, like our bogey proof 3 here, and producer Paul. I think we're together 2 of the days, so we'll definitely get as much content as we can out of those days and get some pre and post round, content as well throughout the week. So we are looking forward to getting you guys all involved in our little week-long action, our daily gambling, whatever we got going on that day. And I'm looking forward to 73 and sunny and 77 and partly cloudy.
Joey,
Oh,
Joey, can we do a bunker lesson at the beach in Naples?
fuck, dude, you're up to something. That's where I really need to go and just work on the bunker. It's honestly a lot better than the fucking sand in our practice bunker out there.
Oh boy. Naples Lakes, get on that shit.
Fucking Lakes, man. Can't wait for you. Can't wait.
That's a clear example of administration bashing. I learned that today in my law class here at school. Don't be one of those people, Joe.
Don't be that guy.
The members fucking using the shit out of it and hitting so much too much goddamn sand out of there.
It's just all on the practice green now.
And there's just nowhere to put it. So whatever. It's all right. It is what it is. I can't complain.
All right, gentlemen. Well, always a pleasure. Pleasure speaking to all of you guys at once. Looking forward to our Florida swing. Looking forward to the PGA Tour ramping up, getting closer to the players in Augusta. It's like what, month and a couple weeks now from Augusta, month and three weeks maybe. So it's almost ramping up to be major season on the PGA Tour. So make sure you pay attention out there to who's playing well, who's trending, all that fun stuff as we get closer to those events and talk a little more gambling or whatever else comes along with that. But other than that, I got nothing, fellas. Cheers.
Yep. See you boys in the
Cheers.
sun.